Hello, welcome to my cake kitchen. I am Gladys, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate cake decorating easily. And if it's your first time you're chancing onto this channel, hello and welcome. It is well, if you wonder why I am all dressed up, it's because it's the last day of 2024, which means I am over here going to bake my very last cake of the year, and then hopefully we'll make it back in 2025. It's a party for one where I invited myself. I have some surprises. I didn't announce it at all or make a fuss about it because I didn't know whether I was going to be here at all. So there's only a limited amount of time over here before I zoom out and go and get myself ready for church and other activities. But if you see me for the first time, we're baking a lemon and blueberry sponge cake. A simple lemon and blueberry cake that I have made right here on this channel. So I am not going to labor the point. If you want to see that video, I will have links down there for you to see or catch up on. Today is 31st of December 2024. It is exactly 6:58 p.m. UK time, right? Everybody is either finally accepting that whatever plans they had for 2024, they couldn't manage and they're hopeful for 2025, or people are just happy and excited. I'm somewhere in between because I am just pleased to have made it just about to the end of the year with life, with breath, with good health, and for all the support that I get on here. So oh, apologies. Okay, Thomas is having a hard time over there, but hey Thomas, by the way, so if you're just chancing here, I'm just hoping we'll make this a little more exciting, fun, and then when we're done, we say adios, goodbye, good day, and then we'll come back in 2025. So for those of you who have been here before, thank you for the support. And if you're just joining me, I hope you stick around for the rest of the year as we enter into the new year, and hopefully there is more value here. Tutorials, all things cake, and yeah, we'll get to see what that is all about. In the meantime, I'm not going to kind of waste your time at all. The lemon and blueberry cake I'm going to be making, I have organized the ingredients already. Normally, we do serious baking here where I talk you through everything about the bake, except because I've done this, I think twice, I'm not going to do that. And because this is going to be just a fun session where we bake this cake and we catch up for the last time in 2024 on a live. Ironic that I am finishing the year on a live, because I'll come to that in a moment. Let's just jump to the baking aspect. So I'm going to get my mixer over here, and for the ingredients I will do well to list everything in the description box for you, and also give you some information where necessary. But see this as a fun project today. We are not doing anything deep. If you catch us over here, cheers to you. Let's have a bit of fun whilst trying to bake this cake that is well important to me today. It is also part of what I am doing for 31st and 1st. I have a very personal ritual that I observe for 31st and the 1st. So this is part of it. But what am I looking for? I am looking for my apron. Where did I leave this? I'm a little bit disorganized, so ignore me. And yes, I have a Grinch hat, but I do enjoy Christmas. I'm not the Grinch who ruined Christmas, okay? So let's be kind to each other. I hope you had a lovely Christmas though. You had a fun time. The lemon and blueberry cake I'm going to be making is going to be using the reverse creaming method. And if you don't know what that is, today I am not going to... You know what? I have always prided myself about giving you value, but today is 31st. I hope you can understand and forgive me for that. So what we are going to do is we're going to start with flour. This flour has a pinch of salt in it. It's self-raising flour, which means it's I don't have to use any rising agent, but I have a quarter of a teaspoonful of baking powder in there to help with the lift and the rise of this cake. I think with that in mind, I'm gonna add a little more in there, just so that I don't have a dense cake. I'm actually aiming for a super light cake. And is it lit? Somebody in the chat over there, is it litrufs or something like that? Hello there, and happy new year. Are you already? I know some of you in some parts of the world would have made it into the new year already. So for those of you who have, happy new year. I'm still in the UK, and based on UK time, we are not anywhere near that yet. But before we continue doing what we're doing here, into the stand mixer, I have just added some sugar and self-raising flour. Now I'm going to add in some lemon zest. These are the zest of, I think, 4 unwaxed lemons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let this cream mix together slightly, just so that the lemon zest will flavor the flour and sugar a little bit before I do anything else. Yeah, it's, oh, okay, so is it litrufs? Is it, what's the name? I can't pronounce it, but I hope you forgive me. Yes, it's 703 in England. It's 703 in England. So yeah, welcome to the stream. We are not normally dressed like this at all, okay? It's not that kind of party. It's because it's 31st. I thought I might as well make it an exciting time for myself. That's all. Most of the time, we are doing serious baking over here. With that done, I'm gonna add some lemon extract here. Oh, there is Bob's things. I think if I have to start calling out the names, that is where I'm gonna get into some serious trouble. So I'm gonna just do away with the name completely. And if you're wishing me happy new year to you, from Texas, you over there. The names, I'm just not great with names at all, okay? So that's done. This is fairly a simple cake. If you're looking for something super simple that doesn't require a lot at all, I will highly recommend this cake. It is quite an adaptable. What's my favorite food? Right, let's see. Right, for all the questions in the chat, I will answer them in a moment. Let's get through the baking, because even after the baking, we have a good 40 minutes. So put in your Christmas, what you did for Christmas, the traditions, the fun things, the unexpected things, the exciting things. And if you have questions, I can answer them. Oh, talking about pizza, we have a pizza. We have a pizza. Hello. We're going to have a pizza and we're going to eat a cake. Are we? We're not eating the cake. No. Okay. At least we're having a pizza and we're drinking cups of tea. That's just by the way. That said, let's just get all of these together. I guess whoever says pizza is their favorite food is excited over there. Okay? Right. Into the flour and sugar, I am adding some butter. Okay? So we have... is it? Let's see. I just missed the chat. Bear with me. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Litrufs. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Okay. So you must really love pizza then. If you're willing to put a super chat for that, thank you. Yeah, we have a pizza. It's a shame I can't share it with you though, but thank you. That's very kind of you. Right, so what's your favorite topping on the pizza, Litrufs? I don't know if I'm calling the name right, but forgive me, okay? The little troughs. Okay, so as in little troughs. It's like little. Okay. So what's your favorite topping? Because I like a meteor. Right. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I am mixing the dry with butter here, and what what the butter does is it coats the flour a little bit. In the baking process, it slows down gluten production, which means that you end up with a very velvety texture and light, even topped bake for the cake. There's a science to all of this, which I have discussed in previous videos and all of that. Today we are not undertaking a very heavy moment of baking. We are trying to keep the chat very light, exciting and fun because it's Christmas. It's like, let's have it as a holiday virtual party that you've just walked into, even though you weren't invited, but you're welcome. And then let's get through it. And then if you stick around, subscribe, like the video, you'll find out in future videos that we really do bake over here, like serious baking. But that's beside the point. We're just going to cream that, and then when it goes in, I will come into the chat, I'll answer all your questions. So if you're new here and you have questions to ask me, you go ahead, put them in the chat, and when I'm done, I'll come and answer all of them for you. Okay. Little troughs, pepperoni and chicken. Okay. I'm just cracking eggs here. That is going to go into this cake. But on this 31st, what are you all doing? What are each one of you, what are you doing today? Are you getting all prepared for New Year's Day? And I really hope you've had a good day. Right? I am mixing the eggs. And with that we have, and then we are going to have some buttermilk in here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's the egg and buttermilk mix. You want to be careful at this point not to over mix your butter at all. So okay, with our buttermilk and egg mixture, that's the wet ingredients gone in, I am just going to take the mixture off so we don't over mix here, whilst also throwing in the blueberries. It's going to be a right. What I am doing here is just going to guarantee some disaster in the kitchen, and I should be wary of that. There you go. And that aside, so we are back here. Yeah, when making this butter, one has to be a little cautious because it does tend to yield a little bit lumpy if you're not careful. But I'm just going to taste the butter. A good sign that a cake is going to be amazing is how the batter tastes raw. And yes, I know if you're watching, you might be thinking, oh, there are raw eggs, and yes, there are. But it's part of the course, yeah. So I have some blueberries in. I don't want the blueberries to be too much. I am just scattering them across. Right, and then what I will do is I'm gonna dump the entire thing in a 10-inch pan. And the idea is we are going to bake this really low at 150 to 155 degrees C fan, and it will bake light because this is going to be a super rustic cake. We're not going to fill it. What we're going to do is that we're going to top it off with mascarpone and creme fraiche cream and some very rustic herby topping, really. So you know something I really wanted to do? I wanted to add some crust to the top. Right. Okay. So the rest of the blueberries have gone in. So we're going to put this in the oven at 150 degrees C. But a good tip to help things along and to allow a delicate bake or enable a delicate bake is to make sure there is water in the oven. So I'm going to put some water on the base of the oven. There's an oven tray in there. Right. And that goes straight in here. We have 155 degrees C. If you saw me disappear, I was reading the oven thermometer in there, and that is 155 degrees C. It is exactly 14 minutes past 7 p.m. UK time. So let's give it a good 55 minutes from now, which will take us to about let's say 5 past 8 or something like that. So I can see 31 of you in the chat. Little truffs, let's just say Nutella on top doesn't work with a lemon cake. We're not doing anything Nutella, and in fact we're just waiting for the cake to bake and then we'll get it out, leave it to cool, and the rustic decorations will go on tomorrow anyway. So it's not for today at all. And you said I should eat the pizza. I'll come to eating the pizza. Ever heard don't talk with your mouth full? Of course, I've got to be here to entertain you, and I'm not a mukbang channel where I just eat for you, for your entertainment. I have to say something, and if I start eating a pizza, I can't talk to you, okay? So bear with me. Let's get through what we need to get through first, and then we can have a pizza. You can order your own pizza if you want. And I'm going to turn my kettle on. So if you hear some noise going off here, it's because I've just turned my kettle on, just so that we can make a cup of tea after that. But I just want to go back and see some of the questions you have in the chat for me. Okay. Oh, truffle. Okay. I see little truffs. I see you said I could call you truffle. So we're doing a sing song. Oh, first of all, I'm a baker, not a singer. Okay. I am self-aware enough to know what my strengths are, and my strength isn't singing at all. Okay. And by the way, if I did start singing over here, I don't know if YouTube will hit me with a copyright thing. You know, so we are not singing. If we're singing, we're doing the silent singing. Yes. I'm sure I could choose a song that I like, But if I chose it in my head and danced over here, you would think there's a mad woman on the loose on the internet. Okay, we're not about to do that. But that aside, thank you for being here. And if you're just joining us, hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day. Happy 31st. I hope you are having a great time. How are you signing off your new year? What's happening? Like, how was Christmas? Was Christmas fun? Dolly? Dolly, my person. How was Christmas? I want to hear all about Christmas. I didn't tell you guys I was coming here, and that is because I didn't know myself. I just figured that, you know what, since I have this thing to do, I just wanted to come and have fun with you and sign off for the new year, and then we'll be back 2025 seriously baking and doing stuff. Okay, I am actually in the process of editing a vlog, and in the vlog you'll find the number of times I said this is my last cake for the year, and then right after that I found reason to go bake a different cake. Okay, and the last cake kept moving and moving and moving and moving, and now this is actually my very last cake of the year, which is one of my favorite cakes to eat, a lemon and blueberry cake. Right, it is an amazing cake full of flavor, great texture. I don't know, when I made it earlier in the year, I made it as a rustic cake for a customer, and then I came back and I remade it as a lemon and blueberry, a lemon meringue cake, which was amazing. So yeah, I'm remaking that, and we're going to be covering it with it's mascarpone cream with a few blueberry jam and all sorts. It is actually amazing. It is actually amazing. I like this cake, and yes, it's going to be a good one. But otherwise, Dolly is asking how Christmas was. Look, Christmas was exactly how I wanted it. I am tired. Can you tell? Makeup hides a lot of things, and perhaps it's hiding my tiredness. I think the people closest to me haven't even had a Merry Christmas from me yet, and that is because I am exhausted. But Christmas was a blessing. Christmas was fun. Christmas was memorable. Christmas was exactly how I liked it. So for that, I say I am super, super grateful. For those of you over there, 31st, any last plans? Do you feel like you achieved your aim for the year? That is, if you did have goals you wanted to achieve, have you achieved them? And are you the person who goes into the new year with a list of things you want to do? And then 1st January comes and 2nd January rolls over and you're like, oh God, why did I do this? If you're like that, I mean, join the club. That's me half of the time. Like, I have a ton of things I want to do. Then January rolls over and I'm like, can we have another more day? Can we have another more day of not doing much? And then there we are. So Dolly, thank you for asking. I had a great time. But Dolly, do you want to tell me about your blondies? I want to hear all about it. Okay, you said they were out of this world. Dolly is a friend of the channel, and we made for Christmas, we made some blondies over here, and Dolly said she was going to remake them. So we want to hear the feedback from what happened when she made them, the results of those, and everything else in between. That aside, I don't know, I decided to have a Grinch hat on my outfit just for the sake of Christmas. But whilst we're at it, what's 31st like? What are your plans? What are you doing? Leave them in the chat. And oh, let's see, let me just truffle. Truffle in the chat. Truffle in the chat is a pomegranate. Okay. Truffle. Truffle likes a pizza too. Anyway, whilst we're at it, did I tell you that we have a pizza too? Because I figured since it's a party for one, I could as well bring my party, because this is the kind of party that we don't cook, okay? We're just going to eat a pizza, drink a cup of tea, because I don't drink, and then we'll have a good time. We'll say goodbye. So yeah, I like a Domino's pizza, okay? But you know what they say? Don't eat with your mouth full. So I realized that that's not a good idea to have a Domino's on my table. So maybe we will leave the pizza for when I am all by myself. But if you have a pizza, join the party, sit down, make yourself a hot drink, put your feet up, and let's get on with it, really. Let me make myself a hot drink though. Anyway, somebody was asking me my favorite, I think as a baker, an appropriate question would be my favorite cake to bake. Well, clearly I'm baking one of my favorite cakes, which is a lemon and blueberry rustic cake. But that aside, a favorite food, that's a tough one, isn't it? Because I do like quite a few different things, but I'm not a foodie. So perhaps if I said I had a favorite food, it would just be related to what I have eaten or a very common thing I'm used to. But right now, I don't even know what that is anyway. Anyway, I've made myself a cup of tea. If you've been on this channel before, you should know we love tea, okay? I love tea over here. I love a hot cup of tea, strong, no sugar, okay? That's what we are having over here. And I don't know, I'm adjusting my hat, okay? I am Mrs. Grinch or Miss Grinch. Sorry, I was just checking in the chat to see who is here and if you have some questions for me. We don't have any questions besides my favorite food. It's definitely not a pizza, but pizza is convenient, isn't it? Right. Over on the community post, I have posted some of my most recent cakes. Oh, whilst we're at it, let me just okay, let's see. Right, whilst we're at it, can you tell what this is, my people? If you can guess what that is. If you can see what is on my plate here, can you tell what this is? We'll talk about this in a moment, but just take a guess. And Dolly says the blondies were so good. Her friend popped in to say hi, had a piece, and she ran out with the entire tray. Okay, Dolly, can you tell me a bit about your friend? First of all, where is she? And is her name Ajua or Tracy? Dolly, I want to hear about this friend. Is her name Ajua or Tracy? You know what I mean by that, right? Ishita. Yes, it is cake, but what kind of cake? Clearly, it is cake, but what kind of cake? Can you tell what, like, thing of a cake it is? I'm just like trying to figure out. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Ishita. Well, yes. I don't suppose it was actually very hidden because I posted it on my community post. So yeah, if you're watching, this is supposed to be a steak cake. Let's go and cut it and see. Anyway, I've dug into it already. So if I hadn't dug into it, Ishita, would you have thought it is a steak cake? Would you have thought it is cake? Right? So it's a steak cake, and here is what is on the inside. Okay? Oh, okay. So, okay, Dolly. So that's the steak cake. And actually, I made this cake last night from scrap cake. I was bored. And can I make a confession? I hoard a lot of cake. I do. I have so much cake hoarded in my house. I don't know what to do with them. So I think one of my resolutions for the new year is to reuse the cake and use them for something else, you know. So yes, it's a steak cake. I have filmed parts of it for a short, so you can see that. But after making it, I got my son to cut into it and he nearly ate it, which freaked me out because it's from scrap cake. It's not like the cake is bad or anything, but it is cake that I have stored in the fridge for a little over a month, and I kind of feel like nobody should be eating a cake that is past 5 days, okay? That's just personal preference, and I guess I talk from a place of privilege because I make cakes, and I'm always able to make quick turnarounds for cakes. But if you wanted to save your cake for longer than that, you can preserve it in different ways that are safe to eat. It's not a problem. It's just a preference thing for me, and more so for my son, because I got him to cut the cake and he actually thought it was steak, and he was excited. He thought he was having steak for lunch. Like, dude, if you were having steak, you won't be having this big steak, okay? But that is just by the way. So yeah, it's a steak cake. And Dolly, thank you. Dolly says the cake looks very real. Yes, is it Ikshita? Yes, you can always freeze it. Yeah, you can, definitely. Except I didn't preserve these very well, and I just wanted to utilize them for content, which is what's happened. So there we have, it's a steak cake, but I'm actually aiming to prioritize making super hyper realistic cakes in the new year when I find time, because between content, serving customers, and other things in between, it can be hard to kind of get my head together and indulge in this activity. But clearly it is an exciting thing to do as well. So that is just by the way. That said, Abuna keeps going to Dolly's house. Dolly is a friend to the channel, and she has a friend who goes to her house and will never leave without a piece of cake. So Abuna came to your house and took your tray and went away. I told you, don't give it to Abuna, give it to Tracy, the neighbors. Okay? I told you. That said, let's not forget that we are at a party, okay? This party right here is organized by My Simple Cake Kitchen here. And if you're just joining us, hello, hi, good day, good morning, good evening. It's great to have you on the channel. My absolute pleasure to be here today with you. It's 31st of December 2024. Another year is nearly over. In about half an hour, I'll be gone from here, and the next time you see me will be 2025. What an exciting year it has been for me, right? I'll give you a recap of what the year was. You know what? I approached YouTube as a business, yet I was aware to know I didn't have the skill, okay? Because YouTube is a whole skill. It is a whole skill that no matter how much videos you watch, no matter how many tutorials you take, believe me when I say the learning is in the doing. You have to get to doing it. You have to make so many mistakes. And I think I cannot overemphasize how important it is that if you are going to undertake YouTube, you approach it from a complete amateur point of view. Have your goals set in building your skill, adapting to the changing phases, because it will change and it continuously changing. But aim to set your mind on what is important, which is that yes, the numbers matter, but key to the numbers is the value you are bringing. And the value can be set in different ways. The value can be set in entertainment, it can be set in education, it can be set in personality. Whatever your value is, bring it. With that said, I entered the new year not knowing exactly where I was headed when it came to YouTube. The intention to start a live was always there, but I had managed to sort of convince myself that I didn't have the tools at all. Meanwhile, I had a camera, I had a phone, not just a camera, I had a whole lighting system, professional lighting system. I had a phone. These days, all you need is a phone. You're watching me on a phone. I am streaming this on my Samsung phone, albeit a modern phone. But the point is, I had managed to talk myself into believing that I wasn't efficient enough to start a live. So you know what? If you go back, all my videos from starting are still on here for you to see anyway. So you can go back and check. When I started, the lives were inconsistent. I wasn't sure the subject matter I was going to be talking about. Nonetheless, I got into it as rough as it was. And the intention was, the more I did it, the more competent I got, the more skill I will build, and then the more I will keep refining. So I wasn't scared to show my mistakes, and I have learned from them. And what actually made a quick turn for me is sometime in the summer, I had a couple contact me for a wedding cake. In the process, I made their consultation and a testing for them. As in, I have created videos on that on the pre-produced format, so you can check that long form formats. I mean, you can check that. So yes, for their testing, for a paid session, I made them their samples, and then they didn't like it, so we discussed the options, and then I wanted to sort of adapt the recipe to their preference. So as I was in that space of doing that, I thought it would be lovely to come on a live and talk about how exciting the process was for me. And that was somewhere, I think that was somewhere, give or take, April, June, somewhere. And then I started a live on it. And ever since, the live has grown and grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. And that's where we are at today. You see, I started the year, I think, with it, if I can remember, it's less than 3K. And as I speak to you, I'm headed towards 7K. Now, 7K in YouTube numbers is very minuscule. But I say that in context to say, in terms of numbers, yes, it's minuscule. But in terms of support and loyalty and people who have showed up, it is way more than I could ever have asked for. Because Can you imagine 7,000 people in one space? That's a whole stadium full of people who have made a choice to be here to support me. And these are not like dormant people. These are people who engage. If you check our community post, you will see there's a lot of engagement there. There are people that we address by names and we wish each other well. My point is, I wasn't sure where I was headed, but I wasn't scared to start either. I just wasn't scared to say, let's dive into this and see what comes along with it. And so if there is a lesson I can encourage you to take into the new year, it is that you don't have to have all the answers to do the thing you want to do. You just have to try. And as you are trying and you're building your skill and you're getting competent at it, you will naturally come to understanding where you are going. In the process, you may not have a definitive destination yet, but make the journey exciting. I love coming on the lives. I don't come here to make it a vanity project. I try to bring some value to you, which means I am bringing you behind the scenes. Much of the lives are where I deep dive into a baking process or bring you on a real day in my life sort of baking in the kitchen. I am streaming from my kitchen. It's a very small, I think it's a 3x4 meter kitchen, perhaps something smaller than that. It's not a huge kitchen, and I'm only stood here, a small portion of it here where I'm talking to you, but I cannot tell you the number of people who are being reached and who still support and who continue to tell me how exciting and how joyful they all feel for being a part of this community. And I say that to say, this channel is not even about me. I am a baker, so I recognize that I have a skill, which is baking, and if I wasn't good at it, I'll be busy trying to learn to do it. The goal here, if you look at the channel tagline, it's bringing you simple, informative tutorials. Nothing warms my heart more than understanding a particular recipe and coming to break that down completely for you so that it becomes a sort of learning resource for you to take with you in your baking journey. I mean, I could make these into a booklet, ebook, whatever, and sell it back to you. The whole point of this is give something back to society, because I have also been supported by you who invest your time here with me. So as the year comes to an end, I have nothing but a heart full of gratitude for the support, the genuine support that you guys have shown me. And even right now as I speak to you, I know 2025 is just going to be a good one. That aside, I know there's a lot of chat in the chat, so let's go and see what's happening in the chat. Lady Lately, my person, hello, welcome. Oh, happy new year, my darling. I hope you had a good one at Christmas. Did you hug mom for me? I did say hug your mom and tell her hello from your internet friend. Did you do that for me? And do you manage Instagram and YouTube and get everything together? How do you make your social media schedule and execute it? Ikshita, my darling, here's an honest answer. I am failing terribly at it. Okay? Ikshita is asking a very, very important question. She is asking, how do I manage my Instagram, YouTube, cake orders, and everything all together? And how do you make your social media schedule, plan, and execute it? Okay, Ikshita, let me just answer this question honestly in parts for you. I don't manage my Instagram at all. So have you checked? There's nothing happening on Instagram. Like, I am not on Instagram at all. And I think as far as I'm concerned, Instagram is not a platform that I am invested in or care too much about. Maybe I'll reconsider that position as I grow and have more resource and support to grow those channels. But at the moment, Instagram is not a priority. Instagram, Facebook, dormant completely. I have the names over there, so if you're seeking me out, you can find me. But no, I don't. And that is not besides the fact that those are not a place of interest for me. The real reason is that I have learned to prioritize where my abilities can survive, and I don't overstretch myself. So to answer your question, How do I make the social media schedule plan and execute it? My main social media where I am present is here on YouTube, and that comes as a result of my own interest in YouTube. I love YouTube. I consume YouTube content. I stay on the channel. I geek out. Okay, bear with me. Boys, could you close the door, please? Yeah, sir and mini sir, please. Thank you. Okay, welcome to my home kitchen. Okay, I have a little guy in the house, my son. So that's just by the way. So that said, I don't manage my Facebook or Instagram at all because I have very limited resources. But because I naturally enjoy YouTube, it lends itself to what I do. So if I wasn't making content on the platform, I would be consuming content. So it kind of makes sense that I am naturally where I live, if that makes sense. I like YouTube. I enjoy YouTube. And I enjoy creating educative, informative content on the platform. And I guess compared to all the other platforms, it is one of the most rewarding. It is a lot of work, and the work kind of goes back to yourself because it creates the opportunity for you as a creator to grow, not in terms of the substantive or material numbers that you see, but in terms of yourself, your skill. I mean, there's a reason why big name celebrities and agencies are existing on YouTube. So for that reason, my main social media platform is YouTube. I have tried to delve into TikTok a little bit, but again, I am aware that I can't overstretch myself. And whilst it will be good to be everywhere, I am not doing this as a popularity contest, okay? I am doing this because, first of all, I love cakes. I enjoy sharing my knowledge with you. And as long as that joy is there and the passion to educate remains, whether I grow steadily like a snail, I will eventually get there. Because you know what? Moving slowly is better than staying still. Okay, so for that reason, I am not particularly so in like running myself down. And when it comes to taking cake orders, because the platform being on social media as a creator who manages all aspects, like I run all aspects of this production you see here, including the long form content, from ideation to filming to editing to conceptualizing, doing all of that. And that is time consuming. So as a result, the intention to take on customer orders has been very low on my priority list. And I actually tend to select whose cake orders I want to take. So I say that to say much of my focus is here and the other aspects just fall into place. It's called balance, okay? You can't have it all, and you have to be comfortable for the season in which you are. I aim, or my aspiration is that this platform will grow, and when it does, I can invest in resources, as in personnel, who can support me as branches to grow the other places, and also give me time. But it's all in the detail and in the focus and in time. You can't win all the time. So Ikshita, that is a long-winded way of answering your question, but I hope you can see the honesty in them. Dolly says, she's learned a lot from me, built my baking business, made all the recipes into a book, and in 2020, God gives me strength to advertise more, do my baking business full-time. You know what, Dolly? Good luck to you. All the best, darling. I actually hope I will see all of that come to fruition for you. Keep in touch. Stay here with us. And we're excited to see you win, darling. Okay? And yeah, you say to me, you say to me, I helped you. You were helpful as well. You were here supporting a sister. Thank you for being so kind and supportive. Okay? All of you in here. Where is everybody? What am I eating? Oh, okay. Katsu speaks less. I'm not eating anything. I made a steak cake and I cut it up. I'm not eating it. I'm drinking a cappuccino. That aside, we still have our cake baking. I am a little bit nosy, but I can't open the oven yet. I have to give it till 8:15. And that said, I've still got some tidying to do before church time. Oh Christ, this is going to be good. Well, for the rest of you in there, what is the rest of your evening looking like? Are you doing something exciting? Are you doing something fun? Let's see. Right. Dolly is asking, what kind of food coloring do I use to color my buttercream? Right, Dolly, if you've been on the channel, you may have seen me color some buttercream. I do it for tutorial purposes, okay? But when it comes to coloring buttercream, you have to consider what your objective is and what you are trying to achieve. I mean, I can simplify it by saying my preferred brand of coloring to use is Color Mill and Pro Gel. I like both for different reasons. Color Mill, because, okay, so let's say, because it's buttercream, the gel base is best, okay? The gel, you can't beat the gel, especially for buttercream, because then it mixes well, it doesn't create problems. It can transfer from buttercream to ganache, no issues. So Color Mill, that's Color Mill and Pro Gel, and I'll tell you why I like both. I like both for different reasons. Color Mill Color Mill is a popular brand and has a reputation at the moment, and I understand it. I'll tell you the downsides of Color Mill. The good sides of Color Mill is such that it has been formulated that you only need a little to get the color you desire. But if you, on the channel, I have spoken about the fact that I don't like adding stuff to my buttercream, including food coloring that messes with the mouthfeel, because that's important to me, okay? So where possible, I would rather go for a plainly decorated cupcake with a swirl of buttercream that doesn't have color, because I don't want sprinkles. I don't want anything that interferes with the mouthfeel and eating experience of the cake. As a result, when it comes to color, I have been cautious in saying that I would only settle for color that is just a little bit. So Color Mill serves that purpose, because if I just want to color my buttercream lightly, a drop or two of Color Mill, because of the formulation, it's gel based, it works well. But then again, Color Mill has other oil based formulations that are suitable for painting and different stuff like that. We're not talking about those ones. We're talking about the gel based let's see. Yeah, we're talking about this type of Color Mill, these ones, right? So if I only need a little drop for a light color, say a light pink or just your light colors, then yes, that works. But if I'm going for, say, a deep red, first of all, that's going to interfere with mouthfeel and eating experience. But if I wanted to go for a deep red color, I'll go for Pro Gel, because Pro Gel just gives me a deeper finish and the deeper tones. So if I wanted like a very deep, heavy color, it will definitely be Pro Gel. Scrap that. In terms of the deeper colors of your red, blacks, and blue, maybe, what's this color brand? Sugar Flare. So in terms of coloring, the gel base, great, like your Color Mill. You have the paste from is it Sugar Flare? So gel, oil, and paste. Those are my options. And my brand's favorites will be Color Meal, Pro Gel, and Sugar Flare. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Let's see, where did I drop this? There you go. Which one do you, at the moment, which one do you use though, Dolly? Whilst we're doing this, I am literally like waiting and looking at the time, hoping that the cake will be done. So I can go and get ready for church. Okay, it's okay. Okay, right. Let's have a look in here. Because we went for a super slow baking process, the cake is baking, but it's coming along really slowly, and it's fine. I'm fine with that. I'll give it till let's say 8:15. Okay, so I'm answering a question from Dolly, and Dolly says she uses Pro Gel. She has a black cake to make for a customer, and the buttercream is black. The design on it is gold. Okay, so you're making a black and gold themed cake for a customer, right, Dolly? Okay, are you using buttercream or ganache? Are you using buttercream or ganache? Just so that I can see if I can pass you some tips on how to get some buttercream. Okay. Are you using American buttercream? Okay. So if you're using American buttercream, Pro Gel might be the best option to go for. But before you color it black, I'm trying to think what, start with a brown base for the Pro Gel. Just drop a brown, because what happens is that because your buttercream has like a sort of not white but an off-white finish to it because of the butter. To get the result you need, make your buttercream, your American buttercream, and then when you are done, drop a small drop of brown and see it change color. Because what you're doing is you're taking it from the lighter color to a darker tone, and that will be either the Pro Gel cream, as in the color cream, or Pro Gel brown. Either of the two. Drop a drop of color, 1 or 2 into it, let it darken before you go in with the black. It will help you achieve a better and consistent black without the small speckles of white. And when you do that, right, I think for say a single tiered cake, a whole tub of black is a lot from Pro-Gel, but my point is just estimate it. And when you do, what you can do then is you can then, when you mix all the black and you still, because sometimes the emulsion of the black doesn't sort of mix completely, and then you end up having specks of white because of the fat in the butter. So what you can do is you can then put it in a microwave. Don't melt it completely, but let it go to sort of a near running consistency. Stir it together, leave it in the fridge to set, and then come back and whip it up. That's your tip for getting a completely set, even black color. Is this your first time of doing this, Dolly? Is this your first time of doing a black cake? Okay, yeah, so I hope the tips are helpful for you. But if you're working with a black cake, just make sure that when you start working on your cake, your time is dedicated to the cake and your workspace is at least organized, because black cake does tend to go everywhere. Oh my God, no matter how like clean you are. So one way you can help yourself to get the best out, the best result, is just focusing on your cake from start to finish, and perhaps color more than you need, because the last thing you want is for your black color to run out in session and then you have to go back and do it all over again. So no, at least guesstimate how much you need and have more than you need, color more than you need. I hope that's a tip that helps. Okay, but whilst we're at it, our lemon and blueberry cake is baking. I don't want to increase the temperature for the bake to bake quickly, because I actually fancy the slow bake, which means it kind of doesn't make sense to still be here.